Alright guys, welcome back to another video. I have another dungeon video for you today. I do have a achievement card coming up, but I'm still working on the editing, but I won't get into that now. But yeah, today we are in the Dread Cellar. I'm going to close this. Yeah, like I said, we're in Dread Cellar today, and
Martus, we aren't prepared for this.
If a few cultists are too much for you, best give up on the spire. Consider that a lesson in keeping on guard.
okay, yeah. Anyway, without me blabbering on more, we'll get straight into the quest.
This area is off limits. Only those with the highest authority are permitted here. Though, there's no one left aside from these cultists and Daedra to enforce such restrictions. If you're here to explore, perhaps we can come to an arrangement.
What are you proposing?
We have come from the Battle Spire to investigate the magical energies radiating from the Dread Cellar. This installation should be abandoned, but as you can see, it isn't entirely empty. I'll turn a blind eye to any scavenging, if you assist us.
Assist you how?
If this ambush was any indication, we're going to face a fair amount of resistance searching these ruins. Help us clear out the prison and discover the source of the magical activity here, and we'll compensate you for your service.
I'll assist your investigation then.
Then your first orders are to act as vanguard and secure the entry to the Dread Cellar. Consider anything or anyone you encounter inside a threat. We'll catch up to you once I've tended to Lucilla's wounds.
Tell me about what brought you here.
We were tipped off that the Dread Cellar had become the source of intense magical activity from an unusual source. A Dremora named Lyranth. She warned that a group called the Waking Flame is at work here. That much has proven to be true.
I've dealt with the Waking Flame before.
That should prove useful. Lyranth told us that these Dagonic cultists seem to be unified towards some greater purpose. We need to discover just what that is and put a stop to it.
What is the Battle Spire?
The principal stronghold of the Imperial battlemage. The Spire's council continues to train and dispatch battlemages to preserve what remains of the Empire where we can. Lucilla is a battlemage in training herself. This mission will be a good test.
You've already taken casualties. A trainee might not survive this.
This will be nothing compared to her trial within the Battle Spire to attain the rank of Battlemage. She will be expected to survive traversing the plains of oblivion. Killing the invading Daedra here is the perfect practice.
What can you tell me about the Dread Cellar?
The Dread Cellar was a prison for the worst enemies of the Empire. It was a highly protected secret until the Empire collapsed. It was abandoned not long after. There isn't much more I can say than that.
You're going to be our new escort, after seeing what happened to our retinue? You must have a confidence I don't share. We should head back, get reinforcements, an actual attack force.
Who are you two?
I'm Lucilla, that's Martus, my commanding officer. You probably could have guessed from our uniforms, but we are Imperial battlemages. Well, he is. I am still a potential in training.
Can you tell me more about your order?
Has the Battle Spire been forgotten already? There really won't be anything left of the Empire by the time the Three Banners War ends. We are, or were, the elite war mages of the Imperial Legions. I didn't join for the glory, but that's disappointing.
What is the Battle Spire?
The fortress of all fortresses, where the strongest mages in the Empire reside and train. It intersects with several planes of oblivion, or so I'm told. My initiation trial will send me on a journey through them. If I survive, I'll be inducted.
If you survive.
Many don't, but fewer still are even granted the right to attempt the trial. I'll have to prove myself capable many times over before I'm given my opportunity. If I can't pass the trial by the time I can take it, I didn't adequately prepare.
How was your injury?
Hurts. But nothing a little magic won't patch up. I wish our retinue had fared as well. That ambush cut them down before they even knew what hit them. You ready to face the sort of enemy that can kill trained soldiers like that?
I'm accustomed to danger.
I hope your confidence is merited for all our sakes. Martus is a veteran battle mage, and I'm far from helpless. But even with your help, storming this prison seems like a suicide mission. If you decide at any point to turn back, I'll support you.
What can you tell me about your mission?
Very little. Martus said our orders are simply to investigate the source of the magical disturbance that our informant spoke of. Anything else about this place is a state secret, apparently.
Your informant?
A Dremora, if you can believe it. Called herself Lyranth. Most people wouldn't trust the word of a Daedra, and they'd be wise not to, but at the Battle Spire, we deal with the inhabitants of Oblivion more than most. Martus believed she was truthful.
I know Lyranth. She's cagey, but reliable enough.
Pardon me if I don't find that reassuring. It's a little convenient that one of Lyranth's associates shows up to help right after our escort was wiped out. Not that we can afford to refuse your help. Just try not to justify my parents.
That seems a bit odd, doesn't it?
This place is enormous, Martus. Where do we even begin to search?
Focus, Lucilla. You can feel the aberrant energies if you just focus.
This debris, I feel it. Gods, I wish I couldn't. It's tying my gut in knots.
Keep clearing the path ahead. I want to evaluate this Daedric stone. We're on the right trail. This wreckage is saturated with lingering sorcery. Whatever this used to be, it held enormous power when it was intact.
Any idea why it's broken?
It could have simply been defective, or releasing the energy might have required it, like a child's clay bank. Or it might have become overfull and burst. I've never seen anything quite like it. But I can feel more of this energy farther in.
Whatever this used to be, it was magically active until recently. I can feel residual energies, like Martus said. It doesn't so much make my skin crawl as make it want to peel off and run screaming away from me.
You can't rely on magic. Change your strategy.
Oh, there's so much anguish.
They made their choices.
Creature.
So be it.
Was it feeding on these? No. There's too much gathered here for this to be some Daedra's dinner. More likely, the Dremora were using that creature to draw out this energy. But why?
Oh, what even is this power, Martus? It makes me want to curl up and die.
Steel yourself, Lucilla. We'll only find out by forging ahead. Escort, please, take the lead. That's a Daedra the likes of which I've never seen, or even heard of in my time at the Battle Spire. Its corpse still pulses with the same energy as within these stones. They are connected.
The monster was siphoning energy from before I killed it.
The obvious explanation would be that the creature feeds on these energy reserves, harvesting them as a honeybee might. I don't like obvious answers. All these Daedra didn't come here to rear these things like cattle. There's a bigger picture.
What makes you say that?
You could call it a hunch. I would call it experience. Daedra don't just arrive on the mortal realm by coincidence. And they aren't here to just live off the land. They are doing this for a greater purpose. We just need to discover what, and thwart it.
Is this what Oblivion feels like? It's how I imagine everything antithetical to our world would feel. I suppose I'll have to get used to it if I'm to have any hope of surviving there.
What makes you want to subject yourself to that?
I have a talent. That's not just some excuse to brag. I was selected because I have the potential to make a difference in this crazy world. It's my duty to use it to restore the stability of the Empire, a return to peace.
You think becoming a battle-mage is the best way to achieve peace?
I know it's the power of the Empire that kept the provinces from this all-out war. The battle spire, the legions, all of it held Tamriel together. The three banners are just going to continue killing each other until that kind of might returns.
The cult has made itself at home here. To be expected. These diagrams, they don't depict anything we've seen so far.
It almost looks mechanical. Cataclysm. That mean anything to you?
Not yet.
It seems like this cataclysm is why the Waking Flame are here. It doesn't look like anything of mortal design. Are the Daedra building it? This investigation is turning out more questions than answers.
Another piece of the puzzle. The question is where it fits in. We'll gather what we can carry and be right behind you. Another vessel. But this one is drawing in energy. The Daedra didn't bring this baleful energy with them. They're drawing it out of the Dread Cellar itself.
What could have happened here that could produce that much vile energy?
Best not to ask questions you don't want the answers to. We should destroy any more of these we find.
You'll hear no argument from me.
I sense more down these side corridors. We'll split up for now. Keep clearing the main halls of the enemy.
He said protected. Do you think they finished it? Their cataclysm?
Likely. Look for anything that might tell us what it is. You, keep going. We'll be able to regroup with you a little farther ahead. I doubt the Waking Flame expected us to get this far, but they're beginning to realize the threat we pose. Keep up the attack while they're still unprepared. These corridors should rejoin beyond the room ahead.
You know the way ahead?
I'm familiar with the layout of this prison. I came prepared to assault it, after all. Once Lucilla and I have looked over this cataclysm research, we'll catch up with you. Stop it from draining that vessel!
Ugh, got away.
We stopped its harvesting, at least. And I feel far greater concentrations of this power ahead. That creature had the sense to flee. Did it value its life? Or was it protecting the power it had siphoned away from this vessel? Either way, if we continue to destroy these Agonemium stones, it'll reduce the threat they pose.
Agonemium stones.
That is how the cult refers to them, and it's just as we believed. They are Daedric relics fashioned to soak up the residual negativity saturating this place. Why they have those creatures feeding on that energy? I'm still not sure, but I can guess.
For the catalyst?
That seems like a safe assumption. Those creatures might just lead us to that infernal device.
It ran. Every other Daedra here has lunged right for our throats. I don't find that as reassuring as you might think. It might mean they're regrouping, preparing for us.
Is that you, Martus? I thought you'd lost your appetite for screams.
A battlemages? Martus, you know him?
Whatever you've gotten yourself involved in, Cyrenin, it ends here.
responsible for this nightmarish place. You were responsible for this place.
That has no bearing on this mission.
We just killed another battle-mage, someone you knew!
I wasn't expecting to find anyone still here. This place was closed down.
I guess your secret wasn't as safe as you thought. I can't believe you.
Our objective hasn't changed. Discover what the Waking Flame are up to and stop it. We need to keep moving. Despite what Lucilla might think, I had no foreknowledge of what or who we'd find here. The Dread Cellar was abandoned a long time ago, and I left it behind long before that.
Who is Sirion?
An interrogator for the Dread Cellar, though that's a charitable descriptor. Torturer would be closer to the truth. I never knew what became of him after this place was abandoned. I tried my best to forget him.
He didn't return to the battle spiral?
That's what should have happened, though becoming entangled with the Daedra cult was a natural fit. He wouldn't have been able to continue indulging his dark impulses at the Spire. I'm only surprised he didn't wind up in service to Molag Bal.
What's your history with the Dread Cellar?
I was an interrogator here, like Cyrenin, though I didn't enjoy the work the way he did. It was a necessary evil. The captives held here all posed existential threats to the Empire, dangers to be contained, intelligence to be extracted.
Dangerous how?
An elder counselor's aide, secretly spying on their correspondence. A guildmaster propping up a puppet governor. A Debellan high priest who covertly commanded a cult of Mephala. A vampire who held an entire island in her thrall. Just to name a few.
And what did you do to them?
I extracted knowledge from them, coercing cooperation however I could. Sometimes subterfuge was enough. Usually, it was not. Our methods were better left to the imagination. It left scars on them and I both. Eventually, I sought reassignment.
Do you regret your time here?
I regret that I lacked the resolve for it. Had I still been an interrogator here, I might have uncovered something that would have prevented all this senseless slaughter. Or maybe I just would have become like Cyrenin. Who's to know?
Martus was tight-lipped from the start. He claimed it was for our mission's secrecy, but he just wanted to hide his involvement in all this. What else has Martus neglected to mention? He's put us all in danger!
How would knowing his past have made a difference in your mission?
We trusted him to lead us, and his priority has been to protect his secrets. Our escort might still be alive if we'd infiltrated using his knowledge instead of marching up the front gate. But what's more blood on the hands of someone who worked here?
Can you trust him enough to continue the mission?
I'll go on with the mission because those are my orders. Trusting him has nothing to do with it. I'm just not going to assume my welfare is his concern, and neither should you.
They are pouring their energy to that machine! Over there as well. Lucilla and I will hold them back! Stop that thing! Didn't think we were going to survive that. Maybe didn't.
So long as this awful place remains, what's to say they won't try again?
It looks like their contraption didn't survive producing that abomination. Thank the divines.
I'll see that you're rewarded for cleaning up Martus's mess.
My age is showing. Don't worry, I'll live. It'll take some effort to mend, though. I'm glad that abomination didn't leave you too much worse for wear.
What happens to the Dread Cellar now?
That will be up to the mages of the Spire Council. We don't have the resources to guard this place from further incursions. They may devise a means of cleansing the lingering energies here, or simply decide to blast it into dust. It won't be missed.
Do you know what that abomination was?
I don't know. It resembled a type of Daedra native to the Deadlands, but whatever this diabolical machine did to it made it unlike any Daedra I've ever seen. I have to wonder if it turned out as intended, given the condition of this contraption now.
Do you think the other battle-mage was behind all this?
Doubtful. Cyrenin was an imaginative torturer, but not smart enough to contrive this whole scheme. He likely helped the Waking Flame tap into the torturous energy soaked into this prison, but conceiving of this machine would be beyond him.
Any idea who could really be behind this?
No, but I suspect our Dremora informant may have more to say about that. I'll be sure to coax it out of her when she and I speak about what we uncovered here.
What a mess. Martus would have gotten us all killed if not for you. Unleashed that monstrous thing on the world and left the stain of this place to fester. He can't get away with his part in this, but I'm worried that he will.
What makes you say that?
He's confident my complaints to the Spire Council will amount to nothing. If he's to be believed, the Dread Cellar is something they're well aware of, if not responsible for themselves. Martus won't face justice for what he's done at the Battle Spire.
So what are you going to do now?
I can't call a man like him comrade, and I can't go back to an institution that would support all this. I can desert. He's injured. He can't stop me, but then he'd never answer for his crimes. If I judged him myself, would you stand in my way?
I'm gonna go for the top one. I won't stop you from leaving, but you shouldn't kill Martus.
You're right. I shouldn't let his misdeeds stain my honor any more than they already have. Here, take this as a payment for your assistance. You should go before Martus drags you into anything else. Martus, what you've done is unforgivable. I won't be returning to the Battle Spire with you. I won't be returning at all.
Lucilla, you're one of the most promising candidates in the Spire. You can take another mentor.
If this is what it means to be a part of the Spire, I want nothing to do with it.
I admire Lucilla's convictions, even if they're going to get her killed one day. Deserting the Legion would be insane if the Empire wasn't in shambles. The best I can do for Lucilla is report her as presumed killed in action.
Do you think you and Lucia will reconcile?
That will be up to her. I don't harbor any ill will toward her, or you, for any feelings you may have about my past. I don't expect either of you to understand. It's not something you can truly weigh against your conscience until you experience it.
I don't like that look of pity he's giving me, but at least Martus doesn't look like he'll stand in my way. I hope you and I cross paths again someday. Him, not so much.
What will you do next?
Disappear for a while. I'm sure the Spire won't appreciate my desertion, but I can't imagine they'll spend much effort looking for me. After that, find a cause worth fighting for, something that will allow me to do real good.
Will you ever forgive Martus?
I'm not the one he needs forgiveness from. If the Divines see fit to show him mercy, that's their prerogative. I intend to forget him.
Bit harsh, but okay. Use your mental. But never mind. Well, there you are, guys. The quest for Dread Cellar. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, please smash the like button. It does help me out. A lot, and I do appreciate it. If you are new around here as well, just hit the subscribe button to stay up to date when I post and see plenty more videos like this. And my next video will be either Craven Deep or Red Pearl Bastion. I haven't decided yet, but it's going to be one of those two. And yeah, until then, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you all for watching.